What's going on, guys, and how are we doing today? I'm really tired. I just recorded a 30-minute video realizing I set up a new framework and I didn't turn my microphone on. So here we go. Take two. But we're back with Ruby Steel OTB. Only the best. We're playing only the best cards. Obviously, that is up for interpretation, but the idea here is you play a very strong aggressive start, whether you're hitting like Flynn or Smee on turn 2. You have Robin Hood shift on 1. In addition to that, you can play like then Sisu to 3. You have the toolbox of your Pete, obviously, but your aggressive start comes from the Flynn line or playing your Smees. Again, your Robin Hood is going to be a good card to challenge into things, and that brings me to Calhoun, another card that we just got in Azurite Sea, where you're gaining lore from banishing your opponent's characters via challenge, and a 3/2 resist 1. The stat line is crazy on a 2/1 or on a 2-drop. Like, it's uninkable, thank goodness, because it's so strong. This might be one of the best, if not the best card in the set. It answers aggro so well because many of their characters have 1 strength. It takes out also their bodyguards while surviving the hit versus those bodyguards. So this card is just so strong, and you get 2 lore in the process. So whether you're playing Captain Hook, Calhoun, Robin Hood playline, and you're challenging your opponent, putting the pressure on them, especially on the draw, like you have the options to go challenging into your opponent, deal with their boards that way, or if you're on the play and you try to hit like Hook Smee or Hood Flynn Sisu, or like Hood Smee shift Hood, like you want to hit this aggressive start, you can do that too. So you can go aggressive versus slower control decks. You can go board control and challenging versus these faster aggro decks. I think this deck does it all. I'm really happy with the way it's been performing in testing, even going back to the last couple formats. I think it's a deck that, if it got explored more, could be potentially a tier 1 threat. I truly believe that, but it doesn't have the representation, and I don't expect it to. So I would say a decent tier 2 deck. I've played the pirate version of this deck with like more locations and John Silver. I have played this deck with Robin Hood Sharpshooter. I'm not a fan of Sharpshooter at all. I think for being uninkable, there's just far better cards to play. I don't like the effect that much. It's cool, I guess, especially when it hits the perfect card that you need. And whenever it doesn't, it feels really, really bad, even as the game progresses. But we're playing 16 uninkable cards. We peak out at 7. You'll never guess what that is, being a red card. Like I said, on turn 1, it kind of depends what you're playing against. Are you on the draw? Are you on the play? Are you against aggro? Are you against control? But you have tools for all that. Like I said, you have like Hook, Calhoun, Robin Hood shift line to challenge. You have like Flynn Sisu. You have Hood Smee Hood, or Hood Flynn Hood for more aggressive starts. Obviously, your Sisu can come in and be aggressive too. And if your opponent is really good at generating advantage, like Ruby Amethyst, Sisu is very strong versus them because it just takes so much from your opponent to take her out unless their hand is that small. Pete, you don't necessarily rely on him, and you don't want to see him too early. I think 3 Pete's kind of the nice sweet spot. Maui down to 3 because we do play the other one. So like I said, you want to either establish dominance on the board with your challenging threats, or you want to pressure your opponent with your questing threats. And then if you can get to 5-6 ink, all of a sudden you're top decking such good cards. You have Maui, you have your Beast Tragic Hero, you have Robin Hood Shift, you have Tremaine Medusa, you have the Half Shark Maui, who, guess what? Oh, you Ursula, or you Sudden Chilled, or Bare Necessities, you made me discard my hand, you wheeled me on turn 2, I lost my B preps, what am I going to do? Well, Half Shark can get those back just in the amount of time, like when you need it, because he's 6, you get it back, play it on 7. Works out really, really nice into that discard matchup. So Maui Half Shark is really good for this deck. It's evasive, and it can one-shot a castle. Too bad it doesn't have Rush. That would be broken. It's a good thing it doesn't have Rush. But again, you get to that point where you get 5-6 ink, and all of a sudden you're pulling Tragic Hero, Champion, you're pulling Tremaine, Medusa, Tinkerbell, Wreck-It Ralph has been really good in testing too. Like, The idea is you get to 5-6 ink and you just start pulling better cards off the top of your deck than your opponent does, and then you just end up out-resourcing them and winning that way. 10 actions, Pete's still pretty prevalent. Not that that should scare certain decks away, because certain decks just have to play more actions. The Brawl, like I said, 4 Whole New Worlds, 3B Preps, especially with Half Shark, being able to get them back for you. That's not why we're not playing 4. I just felt like 3s were just more efficient and just overall better. And then 2 Medallion Weights, more draw. Tragic Hero is so vital for this deck because of card draw. It lacks card draw. Whole New World, pretty important with the deck too. Robin Hood Shift, sing Whole New World if you have to. It feels really good, especially on the play. Just be ahead of your opponent on the resources. They have to dump 5-6 cards, whereas you dump like 2. Feels really strong that way. Medallion Weights, giving that challenger or the +2, especially to like a Maui, take out the, everybody's here, the true hero Maui. And then your Medallion Weights, boosting him. You get to draw a card, or if you take out a character, you don't draw a card if you take out the location, but you can boost 2 and take out the location, right? Maybe I should double read that, right? Chosen character +2 this turn, yeah. So when sorry, it's been a while since I read the card. I know, typical Yu-Gi-Oh player who reads cards. You get the +2 either way. You only get the draw if you take out if you challenge a character. So Medallion Weights is there for draw. Whole New World, B Prep, they're just only the best. We're playing the best cards. Brawl, strong card. Like I said, you get to this 5-6 range, and like, show me one bad card pictured on the screen right now. You can't, because there isn't one. We're going to jump on over to Inktable. I know, Inktable, for so long, you guys were like, that's such a bad place. Why play it? Why show it? Why? And now it's like every video, people are like, hey, why don't you go on Inktable and show us how the deck functions? And I see other creators are going on Inktable and doing it. It's like, okay, we're back to that game. So we're going to conform with society. We're going to... Can you tell I just did a 30-minute video, forgot what I said, and came to redo it all over again? Conform to society. Breathe, talk slower, take a drink. I'm going to move my picture right about over here, though, because in a second here, it's going to change up on us. We're going to go random to see who goes first. We'll do a couple games. So player 2 is going first. We're against Amber Amethyst Hyper Aggro. The biggest thing to take here is mulliganing advice, play sequencing, and just the scenario we get put into. Disregard how bad the AI plays. I can't help that. I can't control it. You can't help it. You can't control it. So just look at the board state, look at how I navigate it, things like that. This is a very simplified, basic understanding of how the deck functions. Every time you want to get rid of these high-cost uninkable cards, you never want to keep them, period. Against this deck, I don't want these high-cost cards either. I don't want an item. It's not going to help. He's going to put out lots of characters early. Sisu, he's going to dump his hand. 1 strength is not going to cut it. Could potentially keep it because wanting to not get clogged on uninkables, I guess. So we will keep it as an ink card, but I'm not planning to play it. That's what we wanted. We wanted to hit a second 1-drop, and we actually hit the shift line, which is even better. So we can go aggressive with our own flints. We're going to ink the Sisu again. We're not going to get really any value out of it. Missed the 1-drop? Are you serious? That is such a bad example. On the play, and they missed the 1-drop. There's, I think 16 of them I have in that deck. 16 1-drops, and he missed them. Drawing uninkable. That's what this deck does so well. So, now we're here. We're going to go ahead. Ink a Flynn. We're going to come back with Calhoun, though. Hopefully we hit an inkable card, and then you have to decide. Do you come back with a double character? And I'm going to say it's going to depend on where our opponent's board is. I should have just quested, because if he's going to trade his Piglet into it, that's just, I guess, poor decision making on his part. We have the Robin Hood shift line, though, so we can take out both characters, go up to 4, control the board, drawing a third uninkable card. At this point, we're going to get rid of the hook, not going to need it. We're going to shift the Robin Hood again. Then we're going to challenge Calhoun with that resist 1, really, really strong. And then we can go ahead and take out the Piglet. And either way, Calhoun would end up with 1 and Robin Hood would end up with 2. So it didn't really matter which way we sequence our attack. But do keep in mind, you want these characters to take out your opponent's characters. So don't attack first and let it survive. Attack with something else if you're going that route. It's just be smarter. We're going to ink. Do I want to play another one? I'm just going to play the Calhoun. I'm not going to do anything with the Flynn. If he wants to challenge in and take out either one of these, well, I guess he would lose both. Could take out the Calhoun, which I'd be okay with. Tiana comes on. This card's crazy. Quest, go up to 8. Not too worried about it. This card, though, is just really strong. I'll talk more about it when we do our updated Hyper Aggro video. So we hit an uninkable card. That's why we didn't play the Flynn last turn. So now we're going to ink the Flynn, not play a card, hopefully hit an inkable card because that was 4 in a row, 4 draws in a row. Unreal. So we're going to go ahead, challenge, and take that out. I'm not going to challenge with this Calhoun because we would lose the Calhoun. And we get 1 less lore this turn this way, but I'm okay with that because we keep the body on the board. Whereas if we would have challenge, got 2/2 quest for 2. Like I said, I'm not worried about that though, especially given our opponent's board. So they go to 10. We ink a card. So here's the thing now. Let's say we didn't have Tremaine or Medusa, right? We could ink a card and I try to challenge into it, but guess what? I can only do 3 damage. I have to pay 3 ink to do 3 damage. So then I would need 6 ink just to take out that Tiana. Like, that's pretty strong. Unfortunately, though, we can go ahead, play a Medusa, take out Tiana that way, and just get around it. How do I want to do this? Really no bad way to do it. He's going to take out anything he challenges into, probably the Robin Hood, which is fine, because then I win on my turn either way, because I'll finish off his Simba with a Calhoun. Or if he takes out a Calhoun, I'll finish it off with a Robin Hood. We get to draw the card. Lady Tremaine is now there. So he could have went to 14. Yeah, there's really nothing that our opponent is going to be able to do. Oh, don't need to play a card. Go ahead, challenge. Take out the Simba. Go to 18. Quest, and that's going to be the game. We went second. So he missed the 1-drop, though. Best case scenario, he would have got 4 more lore. I don't see any scenario that he gets more. So now let's see if they hit the 1-drop this time. So once again, I want to hit multiple early threats, right? Let's get rid of the Tinkerbell. B-Prep gets rid of. Shift Robin Hood is so nice, but I don't have a 1-drop, so I need to get rid of it. Brawl answers the Tiana. It answers the Bodyguard, so we're going to actually keep that too. I'm not worried about Flynn's. We can catch up late. You can fall behind 10-0 easy and catch up just fine. Go figure. We could have kept the Robin Hood, but that's just how the game goes. Uninkable. We're going to get rid of the Ooh. Should we have kept medallion weights? Yeah, I think maybe we should have kept the medallion weights. It probably gets inked next turn, but maybe we should have kept that just to be able to take out those 4 defense characters a little bit more efficiently. So that was a slight misplay. Well, we get that, so we get some extra ink. Not going to be worried about actions against this opponent. Another whole new world. You got to love that. Steel Song players are crying in the background like it's not just us that it happens to. Sorry, Phil. We're going to challenge, put 2 damage on next turn. Then Calhoun can go ahead and take out the Daisy. We're going to get the 2 lore. So we do fall behind here. Be interesting to see how the computer plays with the Lilo. Does it actually use it and make it come out? Is it mandatory where the programming just forces it to? I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what happens. So we can go ahead now. Going into turn 3. Challenge, take it out. Challenge, take it out. Lose that. Or, I mean, we could brawl. Not really worried about it either. What do we have for 3s? We have the brawl. I'm going to keep the Captain Hook. We're going to ink the Hood. Challenge the Daisy. Just kind of stabilize the board. We're going to control the board now, right? Take out the threats. We have 3 ink, so we can come back then with Smee, come back with Hook, and then pass turn. So we have complete board control, sitting in a good spot. They do use the discard effect. Again, I wonder if it's mandatory where it just forces it to. Because in this matchup, you should not do this, because Calhoun, every turn, you're just giving me 2 free lore. Well, 1 free lore, because I could quest for 1. So if you're playing Hyper Aggro against a Calhoun, don't do that without a Bodyguard. Just saying, Don't. Please. Please, please don't. Actually, as the Ruby Steel player, please do. Just baby shark. Can you tell I have kids? I also get sidetracked very easily. Who knew? So yeah, the AI is just going to constantly make that Lilo come back. Shouldn't, but let's say even if it didn't come back, right? You play a different character. I can go ahead and quest for 8, go to 15, and now I'm in a point where, what are you going to do about it, right? We're going to ink the hood, play the beast, and then we're just going to go ahead and quest out. Again, if they played a different character, say they got the 5, so what, we got 1, 2, 3. Let's pretend it was another piglet, right? I want to see if there's a way that they would be able to get 12 lore in one turn. So pretend this was another piglet they played from their hand. So they'd have 1 card in hand, be 3, 6, 7, 8. So that's 16. If it was gathering knowledge and wisdom, and they drew into another gathering knowledge and wisdom. So there is a play line that they could potentially win by not playing the Lilo. I think that's the only play line that's possible, because Goat Bounce Goat isn't going to do it. You'd be 2 lore short. So they're going to go ahead, quest, or not. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter. You might as well just play your hand out, right? So we're going to go ahead. We're at 15. Again, threatening a whole bunch. Take it out. We can do this too. Quest and quest. So let's go ahead and play against one other deck. It's from last format. I want to just see how the deck does against discard, because I could see discard being a poor matchup, right? Maybe. I'm curious on it because the potential lack of card draw. So this is set 5 discard versus updated Ruby Steel. Let's see how it goes. I just haven't had time to update my steel deck, or my green steel discard deck. We're on the draw. Sorry, we're on the draw. Whole New World is appealing, but we got Uninkables. Sisu could potentially be really good if they get their card hand size up. Beast could be very strong to get to. We're going to get rid of the Whole New World. I'm actually going to go just that, because we can go Hood, Calhoun. Maui's going to be really strong. One shot a Cove. Diablo, he gets to see our hand. Brawl, that's actually really good. Tinkerbell is easy to get rid of. So we play the Hood. See what goes. So Hood, Calhoun, Sisu, and then we kind of see what goes. Or instead of Sisu, we could potentially go Brawl. Nothing on 2, so that's unfortunate for them, not for us. Oh man, we got the Whole New World, so I'm going to ink the Beast. If we didn't have the Beast, or if we didn't have the Whole New World, I would not ink the Beast. Yeah, at this point, like, get rid of that potential shift, because I have Brawl to answer a hard-played Diablo, even though he'd neg more in the process. Doesn't have... God, there had to be a better play line. AI, you suck so bad. It stops us from getting the Flynn. So, I mean, there's that. Stops us from getting the Flynn. Let's see. We're going to get rid of the Sisu, play the Calhoun. I want to hold the Brawl for a better card. And then we're not going to do anything, because I don't want to just sacrifice the Hood for the Ana, because Ana take out Hood, Calhoun take out Ana. Gonna do it anyway. There goes the Flynn, so we do lose a card in the process, and we lose our other one in the process too, but we can take out Ana, so not a bad turn from the opponent. Let's see, no more Flynn. Let's get rid of the Maui. No, I don't want to play a card. Challenge, take out the Ana, take 1 damage, get 2 lore. Not in a bad spot, at least yet, because our opponent really didn't hit the discard though. Ooh, Prince John, scary. Hey, they hit the discard. So we're at 4. Our opponent's going to be dumb and quest with the Prince John. I'm sure about it. We want to keep the Whole New World, but we also have Beast. And we can ink the Brawl, play the Beast if we had to, but we hit Pete instead. I actually kind of like Pete. but I like where we're at otherwise. We're going to get rid of the Pete, keep the Brawl for a threat, Quest, because he's not going to challenge us. There'd be no point. We'd take no damage. We'd take him out. I mean, I disagree with that. You hit the Beast and cut off the draw engine, like, duh. Let's see. Draw 2 cards. So now it's like a whole new world. No, because your opponent's going to get more value out of it than I would. What can we do? At this point, I can ink a Maui. I feel pretty comfortable with. Play the Hood, Quest. I don't need the draws, and if he wants to challenge into it, I can just sing a whole new world for draws. Pete comes down. I'm not singing whole new world. I'm not playing that. A sudden chill here would hurt, especially with multiple brawls in hand. Let's go ahead. Nope, don't want to shift. Play, Quest, apply the pressure. Really not a scenario we lose here. Our opponent didn't hit discard though, so it's kind of hard to say how would the deck fare against discard. But like I said, once you get to this like 5-6 range, I don't see a way that this deck loses in this scenario. Like there's just too much, right? It's just too strong. It's too good. There's too much. Let's see, 7 ink, so we can actually go ahead and just go Flynn, Smee, Brawl. Let's go ahead and get rid of that, just because I could get the Brawl back. That could be fun, but we're not gonna. We're gonna sing that whole new world at some point. Challenge, take out the Pete, get the 2 lore, go to 11. Quest up to 15. We're actually going to win on our next turn anyway. So, like I said, this deck, we didn't draw any bad cards. That's the idea behind the deck, right? You don't draw bad cards as the game goes on. Captain Hook would suck to draw. Little Robin Hood, Medallion Weights. There's bad cards, but there's way more good cards, and even your bad cards have utility and purpose, and that was the idea and the thought behind this deck, and it's performed and overperformed by a lot. So our opponent's going to go first once again. Hopefully they hit the discard this time. Our Hyper Aggro, they missed their 1-drop, and then they hit it. So now this time, hopefully discard hits the discard play line. We don't want any of those. Whole New World's going to find its way back to our hand anyway. Not going to keep the Maui or the Beast. I'm going to keep the 1 Robin Hood, because if we hit the Robin Hood, which we don't, a bunch more high cards, we have no 1-drop this time. So now it could be interesting the other way. Pete can slow him down for 1 turn. Ink 1 Hood, play. Flynn's probably not going to stick to the board because of the Steel Songs, but it could be worth it. So now the discard does come down inefficiently, but it's there. Everything's inkable, so that's good. Going down. Hey, look, uninkable. I would have loved to have that last turn. I would have inked or discarded that so fast. Let's see. Do we even go the Flynn route? It forces stuff. Get rid of Maui. Play the Flynn. Force him to play a 2-strength character or like a Let the Storm Rage on. I'm fine with both. Gets it out of there. Doesn't progress his board state. Keeps the game slower. Keep the game slow. That's what you want to do. You want to keep the game state slow until you can get to that 5, 6, 7 ink range. Ursula's going to hurt now too. Let's see. Ink there. We can play a Pete, which effectively slows his actions for 1 turn, gets us to that 4 ink turn, and then all of a sudden we're to the Robin Hood, and then we're to the good top decking. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable with where we're at. Hey, it's Ursula. Hey, it's uninkable. Gosh, we can't even play a character now this turn. We're going to ink the Smee. Just control the board state. Keep it simple. Keep it slow. Like I said, we want to play the long game. We're not in it for the short term. We're in it for the long game. We're going to Quest. Can trade with that. Take that out too. So we're just getting good value. Beast is pretty strong right there. Beast is pretty strong right there. Ink. The worst part here is I don't feel comfortable playing Robin Hood. Do you play the Robin Hood or do you keep it and have the follow-up for the Tremaine? I'm actually going to keep it. Because especially if he doesn't do anything with this beast, he would not do that. That's just dumb. If you're going to quest. However, Tremaine now not going to do a whole lot, but his card draw is gone, so there's a thing. Let's see. Ink here. Play Hood. Actually didn't really need to do that. Could have just did nothing and get him into that beat prep range. Well, I wanted to play against discard. We're playing against discard, ladies and gentlemen, and let's see how it goes. So our opponent now up 8-0. Can we swing this back in our favor? Let's see. What is the play here? Stuck at 6, so we can't come back with 2 characters no matter which way we flip it. Play the Tremaine. He's probably gets rid of the Pete. Might have to be okay, though. Or is there any other scenario to do something different? Calhoun would die to Pete or to Beast, but it could take out Ursula. Robin Hood doesn't die to either. Diablo is a threat. Threat after threat after threat. Goes to 12. Yeah. Let's see. Plays that. Does. Oh, double swing it with Ursula. I'm like, how did he just do that? But that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 5, 5. That's not going to matter. 1 isn't going to do it. Because he gets rid of the Pete. Still gets 4. We're in a really bad spot now. Which is fine. We're in a bad spot. We'll play game 3. I'll do a game 3. Play the multiple characters. Discard. It's so fun. Discard is so fun. Like I said, I felt like discard could be less than ideal, especially when you hit multiple uninkable cards there and it just throws off what you're trying to do. It can be very difficult. That's going to be a problem, being evasive. We do have answers for it. That is not one of them. So let's see. How do we want to do this? Smee's going to be dead at the end of the turn no matter what, so we might as well use him to take out the beast, because he'll take the 1 damage on his own. We can take out the Ursula, but still, with that being evasive, we're in a bad spot. But we're on the board. We're at 2 lore. What could we get? Oh my gosh. That's game. That is game. His top decks are better. Too good. We're going to go to game 3. On to game 3. Not going to matter. So, our opponent is such a cool person. You know what they're going to do? They're going to play out their whole hand, so we might as well. We got up to 5, though. We're just 1 turn late twice, and that's just how it went. Quest. I was going to say, if he challenged, I'd be like, you know. Okay, restart. This time we get to go second again. Yay. So, redo that. Let's see. Discard. Do they hit the discard? Because we hit our 1-drops this time, so that's big. The uninkable high-cost cards are gone. Maui's are going to be gone. Let's see. We got 3, so it leaves 13 uninkables in the deck to hit. Do we keep the 1? We probably end up with 2 or 3 then. Do we dig hard for the other Robin Hoods? I'm going to... Yeah, because we got Hook and other 2s also. We didn't hit any unequal cards. That's good. We hit Pete. He missed the 1-drop. That's not too uncommon. What do they have? Cove and Diablo. Don't need multiple Robin Hoods, so we can go ahead and play Robin Hood. We're essentially on the play with 1 extra card, 1 less ink. Morph comes down. Ooh. That's not cool. Okay. Tragic Hero Shift here is going to hurt. So what do we have for 2s? We got Smee and Calhoun. Let's ink the Smee. Play the Calhoun. Quest, because if he shifts Beast and challenges, he is a dummy. Hypnotize, hypnotize. Bye-bye. It's too early for that. Too early for that. That was just not smart. They would not do that with a morph. Borderline tempted to just leave it there because they just would not do that. They'd keep the morph. And then let's see, what can we do? Inkasisu, play a Pete, stalls us to that 4. We have a bunch of ink in hand. So we're pretty much to that beast, which once we get to the beast, we're in a good spot. You would wait one more turn on your Ana because then you can actually use her effect. Ink, play. We can ink a beast, play a beast. We're going to go ahead and start questing. Let's see. I'm not going to quest the other 2, though, because I don't want the Ana to just trade. Because Ana would trade, or not even trade, Ana would take out the Robin Hood, whereas Calhoun can trade with her better. So morph, Prince John, quest. Some way to make me discard. Let's see, ink, play. Sitting in a much better spot now when you don't hit all those uninkable cards. Let's see. We'd survive it. Pete would also survive it, so we just keep the board presence this way. Boom, boom. Just trying to survive, keep our board bigger. Quest, quest, keep the pressure on. Opponent kind of missed the discard. I mean, they didn't really hit discard. They hit the hypnotize, sudden chill, that's fine. Draws the card. Could they swing it back in their favor? Not likely. Quest, yeah, back to us. Draw 2. So that's just how it goes sometimes, though. The deck is working in our favor this time. So 3-game best of 3. We end up winning in 3. Hyper aggro we do really good against. Like I said, I feel good into like the slower Sapphire decks with this. And I feel good into the hyper aggressive decks. The discard deck can be a little wishy-washy, though. I'm not gonna lie. They had us in the first half. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, they had us in the second half, and then we went to overtime. But we got our referee on the field. We're the Chiefs. That's all that really matters with that. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry. Maybe do you want me to pre-record the replays portion of it and then commentate over it, or do you like it where I just give you my honest raw thoughts as it happens, and maybe I don't play perfectly and it's just a one take, this is what you get? Let me know down below what you would prefer. Thanks for watching. Do you like just seeing this? Again, this isn't meant to be the super competitive hyper blah 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 video. This is the deck part. Is the deck I truly stand by. Tried to make it as good educational choices as possible, but Inktable is just to see sequencing and just kind of get a basic feel for the deck. But thank you guys for watching. Until next time, like, share, subscribe, comment down below.